Hey guys, welcome out to the range. I wanted to show you something. I wanted to show you basically the Cliff Notes version of a lecture, of a very lengthy lecture that I had years ago at a vehicle class. The instructor, well, the class was held with Talon Defense, and the guest instructor for the class was Will Petty from Centrifuge Training. Chase Jenkins was Talon Defense, and then Will Petty came in for the class, and we were shooting a Honda Passport. I'll never forget, it was a Honda Passport, and we had a paper target on this side, one of those, one of those deals. And it was standing here, we were on that side of the vehicle, and we were trying to put shots cleanly through the B post into the target. The target was about right here. And all we were told was, one bullet, get a single round through that car and on target, and we'll call it a day. Now, I'm not exaggerating when I say to you, AR-15s, everything from 7.5s all the way to 18s. And just for the record, someone's going to say, well, why'd you bother with 7.5? Because I can firmly tell you from personal experience that my 7.5-inch SBRs tended to get rounds more cleanly and efficiently through cars than the 16 and 18-inch variants ever did. Why? I believe it's because lower velocity means, how can I put this? Lower velocity means more bullet time on target and less chance of that round obliterating when it hits. These are my theories. But I'm telling you, I have consistently been able to put bullets through cars here with a 7.5 when we had dummies over here with 7.5s, whereas 16-inch barreled rifles would stop somewhere inside of this vehicle, and they would seldom ever make it out on this side, which was really weird to see. In fact, in some cases, we would actually find divots, bumped holes, or bumps in the metal on this side, but no penetration. So anyways, we did ARs, AKs. One of the guys actually had a Remington 700 bolt action. Pulled that sucker out, tried 3 rounds of bonded. This was actually carry ammo. The guy was a law enforcement sniper. No. Yes, law enforcement sniper. He could not get rounds through this B-post into the target. Once you understand what this is about, it basically goes like this. If I open the doors, what we see here is a solid piece of steel. This is structural. This is a seriously stout piece of metal here. And there's a corresponding one right over there. To get rounds cleanly through here are darn near impossible. What a lot of people don't get about vehicles, but I do because they've had a lot of vehicle training, is that if I'm working angles on a bad guy, and I end up here, I'll tell you what, let's forget this for, well, let me finish this thought first. This right here is a fair amount of cover, because remember, it's not just this area. There's also steel out to here, and there's steel out to here. Well, this area is about that wide. Look at what it's covering. Look at what this constitutes. This is like wearing a plate carrier. This whole section is covering all the really, as I like to say, the expensive items of my body that need cover. I'm 6'4", so I can look over the top of this van. If I needed to, I could actually take a shot on that target and cleanly get a shot from here. Look at how much coverage I've got. That dude can't hit me. Even if he figures out where the shot came from, he has difficulty actually getting a shot on me because I have so much cover between me and him. Yep, rounds are going to start doing this. But look at how much mass I have between me and him. Okay? That's one thing. So now let's ignore that for a second. Okay, so now let's say that I'm hunting someone. I'm trying to find them. All of this right here, you wouldn't think so, but I've seen it. All of this right here, this is spall glass. This is anti-spall, and everything else on a vehicle is spall glass. Now, some of the newer vehicles, this is the 2012, some of the newer vehicles coming out, these side windows are, in fact, my wife's Lexus, are 2 panes of glass sandwiched together with argon in the middle. So that's beginning to create some problems. But this stuff right here is spall glass for you to be able to shatter it and get out in case you end up in the drink with this vehicle, or in case the vehicle's on fire, or you've taken a hit and the doors are jammed and you can't get them open. These windows are designed to give way for you to get out. In fact, that's one of the techniques. When you shoot a window out one of the things that you do is you actually shove the weapon in and you rake the glass so you can cleanly see into the vehicle. That was kind of interesting when we did that, by the way. But anyways, if I'm hunting someone around cars and he starts shooting at me, I've actually seen a guy fire an AK from here that way through a vehicle, just an ordinary non-hard vehicle. He could not cleanly get a shot through the vehicle to hit the target on that side because of this glass panel and that glass panel. Remember, that was glass to glass, not metal to metal. Glass to glass, his AK-47 round spun and came off target and made this, it just sort of keyholed and just took a chunk out of the target. And someone's like, yeah, but that's still a lot of impact. You're right, that's a lot of impact, but that may not be enough impact to actually do its job as a bullet. Because if the bullet is hitting you like this, that is one hell of a bruise. But it may not do its job as a bullet. So remember that. That's what we're not talking. Remember, guys, you've heard me say this before. We're not talking about killing force. We're talking about the ability to modify behavior. And depending on what you're shooting, and depending on velocities of bullets and weights of bullets, you're going to sacrifice a lot. Which is why I say to you, I really, really like 9mm. 115 grain, or 124, or 147, fired out of a PDW with a, I think this is a 5-inch barrel, around vehicles may be more effective than rifle rounds around vehicles. And I know that for some people, what I'm saying right now is like, no, I can't imagine that world. Well, guys, it's the truth. That world is real. I've witnessed it. I've shot up more cars than most people. I've attended a lot of vehicle training to such a degree, and I'm not going to say any names, but to such a degree that when a certain individual in this industry hung out their shingle and their focus was vehicle training, and I reached out to that person to do the vehicle instructor classes, he blocked me. Oh, I'd love to tell you his name. He blocked me. Not on one class, but on 4 classes. 4 classes in a row as I was reading his calendar to him. Oh man, I'm sorry, that's a law enforcement only class. That's not what it says. Yeah, well, that's a law enforcement class. So guys, I'm telling you fact. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to vehicles. There are people in this industry who want to act like this is somehow the book of knowledge that cannot be shared with just anyone. Well, newsflash. You think the bad guys don't know this stuff? You're deluding yourself. The bad guys know this stuff, okay? It's we the people who don't put the time in to actually want to learn this stuff. Great example. Today is February 6th, 2022. Right about now, I absolutely know this. There are a bunch of Americans out here right now who have their panties in a wad at the idea that the trucker strike may actually block the Super Bowl. Now, the very fact that I have said that right there might actually get this video tagged with some kind of a sensitivity thing on it that you have to click on because it's information. And here's the other thing. A lot of you may not even know what I'm talking about. So on that note, I'm going to stop this video. As always, I thank you guys for watching. God bless you all. Get those guns out in practice. Have a good one. Go good way! Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out! Moving! Ah! Up! Up! Reloading! Up! Clear on right! Clear right! Clear! Clear front! All clear!